Part 1. The Illusion of Peace. Friday, 7:40 p.m. The time when the city exhales. Meet Andrei. He's 34 years old. He has a good job, a manageable mortgage, and what seems like a happy marriage. Right now, Andrei is solving the most difficult task of the week. He's standing in the supermarket in front of an endless dairy shelf. The light here is too bright, sterile. The refrigerators hum monotonously, drowning out his thoughts. In one hand, he holds a basket with the usual survival kit: bread, eggs, laundry pods. In the other, a phone. Andrei brings it to his ear. His face is tired, his gaze unfocused, staring through the rows of jars. "Hello? Anya, I'm at the dairy section," he says in a casual tone. "What yogurt should I get for breakfast? There's cherry, Greek, and some new one with mango." A short pause hangs on the other end. Then he hears the response. Anya's voice sounds even, lifeless, like an answering machine. She says just a couple of words. Andrei nods to himself, says, "Got it," and hangs up. He looks at the shelf for another second, then grabs the first yogurt on sale with a yellow price tag. He doesn't care. Do you know what she said? She said, "I don't care. Get any." And Andrei got any. It seems like a trifle, an ordinary, everyday scene we witness every day. But if we could freeze this moment and look deeper, we'd see that in Andrei's eyes, there's no irritation, no anger at this indifference. There's absolute calm. And that calm is the most terrifying thing that has happened to his life. Andrei thinks he's just buying groceries. In reality, he has just received confirmation of the diagnosis. Their relationship has lost its flavor. No cherry, no mango, not even the sour Greek. All that's left is, "I don't care," and "get any." They didn't fight, they didn't smash plates, they simply faded. Welcome to normal life. Andrei leaves the store, gets in the car, drives the familiar route. The click of the front door lock. In the apartment, dim light is on. From the living room come the sounds of the TV. Some series is droning on, creating the illusion of people's presence. Jackets hang on the rack. Below are 2 pairs of shoes, neatly placed, but toes pointing in different directions, as if trying to walk away from each other. "I'm home," Andrei says into the empty hallway. No one runs out to greet him. No one asks, "How are you?" This isn't war. They're not arguing. The greeting ritual has simply been canceled as unnecessary, a rudiment that fell away in the evolution of their marriage. "Yeah, leave the bags in the kitchen," Anya's voice comes from the room. Andrei goes to the kitchen, unpacks the bags. Yogurt in the fridge, bread in the bread box. Every movement honed by years. He could do it blindfolded. Anya comes in. She's in soft loungewear, hair carelessly tied in a bun. She looks good, but somehow blurred, like a photo where they forgot to focus. She approaches, offers her cheek. Andrei touches it with his lips. This isn't a kiss. It's a passport stamp, a mark confirming they're still husband and wife. "I'm exhausted today. Those reports," she says, pouring water into the kettle. "Uh-huh. Mine was a madhouse too. The boss rejected the brief again," Andrei replies, washing his hands. "You want to eat, or just tea?" she asks, already turning away. Listen to this dialogue. It's white noise. The words they say carry no information about what's inside them. It's a way to fill the silence so it doesn't press on their ears, so it doesn't become scary how quiet it can be in an apartment where 2 people live. They sit down to dinner. In front of them, not each other's faces, but screens. Andrei has the news feed on his phone, flashing disasters and cute cats. Anya has a series on her tablet. They chew and scroll. Their legs accidentally touch under the table. Andrei freezes for a fraction of a second, then slightly moves his leg away. Not sharply, not with disgust, just for comfort, to avoid touching. Why doesn't Andrei sound the alarm? Why doesn't he shout, feeling this cold? Because he's a smart, adult man with ironclad arguments. Right now, the voice of reason echoes in his head. Andrei, what did you expect? You're not 18 anymore. This is adult life. Stability. Look at others. They fight, divide property. And we have a quiet harbor. We're partners. We have a low-interest mortgage. We know each other's habits. This is comfort. He calls it comfort. But if you look closely, it resembles the comfort in a waiting room for a flight that's been permanently canceled. The evening smoothly flows into night. They end up in the bathroom, brushing teeth, standing side by side at the sink. Andrei looks at Anya's reflection in the mirror. She's removing makeup with a cotton pad. He sees her real, without embellishments, with the first wrinkles around her eyes. She's beautiful. She's dear. But he feels no desire to touch her, to hug her shoulders. He feels a strange, calm kinship, like to a sister, or like to a roommate he's lived with for 5 years and knows whose shampoo is on which shelf. Just tired, Andrei thinks, spitting out the toothpaste. We'll sleep in on the weekend, and everything will be fine. Just tired. The main lie of our time. We justify the death of feelings with fatigue. We think that if we rest, love will return on its own, like energy after sleep. But Andrei and Anya went on vacation 6 months ago, and there they were, tired, too, from excursions, from the heat, from choosing a restaurant, from having to talk to each other 24 hours a day. The final chord of the day, the bedroom. They lie in bed, lights off, curtains tightly drawn. But there's no complete darkness. Their faces are deathly pale, illuminated by the cold blue light of smartphones. Between them on the bed lies an invisible wall, a distance of just 30 centimeters that feels insurmountable, like an ocean. Turn off the light? Anya asks without looking away from the screen. Yeah, in a sec. Let me finish reading, Andrei mumbles. He puts the phone on the nightstand, turns his back to her. Good night. Good night. They fall asleep back to back, each in their own cocoon, in complete safety, in complete isolation. Andrei falls asleep with a sense of duty fulfilled. The day is lived. Nothing bad happened. The house didn't burn down. The wife is in place. He doesn't know that the bad has already happened. It's happening right now as he breathes into the pillow. He doesn't know that the absence of pain isn't always a sign of health. Sometimes it's a sign that the tissue has already died. Tomorrow will be Saturday, and it will be exactly the same. Only the yogurt flavor will be different. Though, does it matter? Part 2. The Anatomy of Emptiness. Remember an ordinary Tuesday evening. That very evening when, sitting on the couch, you suddenly decide it's time to change something. Andrei and Anya are sitting in front of the laptop. The screen glows with cold white light, reflecting in the lenses of their glasses. They're choosing a vacation. It seems like a joyful moment, right? Sea, sun, freedom. But if you could close your eyes and just listen to their conversation, you wouldn't hear any anticipation of adventure. You'd hear a meeting of 2 tired managers trying to optimize the annual budget. Turkey? It's expensive and noisy there now, Anya says, scrolling the page. Egypt? Too hot. I won't handle it, Andrei replies. Let's go here. This one has a 4.8 rating and breakfast until 11. And the Wi-Fi, they say, reaches the beach. Andrei looks at the hotel photos. Azure pool, neat rows of sun loungers, happy couples with cocktails. He tries to imagine himself and Anya there, but his imagination stalls. He sees only logistics, stuffy transfer, heavy suitcases, searching for a pharmacy if a headache strikes. He catches himself thinking that they're choosing the hotel not because it will be romantic, but because there will be good internet, so in the evening they can bury themselves in their phones without wasting roaming data. Well, shall we book it? Anya asks, hovering the cursor over the Pay button. Yeah, great, Andrei answers. Click of the mouse, money deducted. No one hugs, no one jumps for joy. They just check the box for annual vacation. Task completed. They can go to their separate rooms. In that moment, Andrei feels a strange heaviness in his chest, as if he bought a ticket not to the sea, but to another planet where he'll still feel lonely, just against a backdrop of palm trees. Now let's move to the office. Wednesday, midday. The smell of cheap coffee from the vending machine, the hum of the air conditioner, the rhythmic clacking of keys. Andrei is standing in the office kitchen, stirring sugar in a paper cup. Next to him is his colleague Sergei. Sergei looks awful. Shirt wrinkled, eyes red, hands trembling slightly. Sergei is getting divorced. Right now, his world is collapsing with a crash. Sergei tells the story, choking with emotions, interrupting himself. Can you imagine? She packed her things, right in front of me. She screamed that she hates me, that I ruined her best years. Andrei, it hurts so much, I can't breathe, you know? Andrei stands there, nods, says the standard words of comfort. Hang in there, man. Time heals. It'll all work out. But inside Andrei, something terrifying is happening. Looking at Sergei, broken by grief, destroyed, Andrei realizes one thing. He envies him. Yes, he envies the man whose wife left him. Because Sergei has drama in his life, an event, a living, pulsating emotion, even if it's unbearable pain. In Sergei's life, everything is real. Shouts, tears, broken dishes, passion, hatred. There's life there. And in Andrei's, cotton wool. He tries to remember the last time Anya yelled at him, or when she looked at him as if he had ruined her life, or, on the contrary, made it a fairy tale. He can't remember. Everything is normal with them. They don't argue. They're polite. Pass the salt, please. Buy bread. Good night. Andrei looks at his cooled coffee and realizes it would be better if she yelled. Better if she smashed a plate against the wall. That would at least mean she cares. That to her, he's a living person who evokes a reaction, not a piece of furniture, convenient and familiar, like an old couch you're sorry to throw away. But there are things we're supposed to keep silent about. Things that happen behind closed bedroom doors. Saturday evening. You know this time. The time when you should. The lights are off in the house. Curtains drawn tighter than usual. Andrei and Anya get into bed. This isn't a surge of passion. It's not a spark that suddenly ran between them in the kitchen. It's an item on the schedule. If not today, then when? Tomorrow guests, then Monday, work. In the darkness, awkwardness is palpable. Two bodies move, trying to do everything correctly, according to the familiar script. Touches that the hands remember, but the heart forgot long ago. Mechanics. Technique. Are you comfortable? A whisper in the dark. Yes. Everything okay? Uh-huh. They make love the same way they do a deep clean. Because that's what's expected in marriage. Because articles say it's good for health and strengthens relationships. And the most terrifying thing comes afterward. Silence. Andrei lies on his back, staring at the invisible ceiling. The darkness presses on his eyes. He hears Anya's breathing even out. She falls asleep quickly, and he lies there feeling relief. Relief that it is over, that the check mark is placed, that the next shift is only in a week. In that moment, he feels like a traitor. After all, he hasn't stopped loving her, right? He respects her. She's his closest person. But their bodies have become strangers. The spark didn't just go out, the wood got damp. He wants to turn over, hug her, press against her warm back, feel that very scent of her hair that made his head spin 7 years ago. He turns over, inhales. Shampoo. Just the smell of floral shampoo from the mass market. No magic. Andrei closes his eyes and thinks, maybe I'm just spoiled. People have real problems. Loans, illnesses, wars. And here I am whining about the lack of spark. We're adults. Passion fades. Respect remains. He's lying to himself again. Because respect is when you see the person, and they've long stopped seeing each other. They see functions, husband-provider, wife homemaker, two cogs in a well-oiled machine called family. Maybe you're imagining it now? Maybe you've recognized this chill of the sheets, or this fear of weekends when you'll have to spend time together and talk. When you sit in a restaurant and want to bury yourself in your phone just to avoid seeing your partner's bored gaze across the table. When the silence between you becomes so thick, you could cut it with a knife. This isn't a crisis. A crisis is acute. A crisis can be survived, endured. But this is a swamp. It's warm, cozy. It sucks you in slowly, without pain. You just fall asleep. And you can sleep through your whole life like that, until at 60 you wake up and realize you've lived it with a stranger. But Andrei will wake up sooner. Fate is preparing his moment of truth. And it won't happen in the mountains or in a drama with infidelity. Everything will happen at home, when the lights simply go out. Part 3. The Darkness That Speaks. Imagine an ordinary Tuesday evening. Outside, November rain is lashing against the windowsills, and inside the apartment, it's warm and familiarly noisy. The TV is on. Someone's cooking food there, laughing, building love. This noise is like a protective dome. As long as the TV drones on, they don't have to talk to each other. As long as the screens glow, they're occupied. Andrei is sitting in the armchair with his laptop, checking email. Anya is on the couch, scrolling through her social media feed. Between them, a thick sound curtain. And suddenly, click, a sharp, deafening silence. The lights go out. The TV falls silent mid-sentence. The router in the hallway stops blinking its cheerful green lights. Wi-Fi disappears, cutting off connection to the outside world. Absolute, cottony darkness descends on the apartment. And, even scarier, absolute silence. Damn, probably the fuses. Andrei's voice sounds unnaturally loud and echoing in this emptiness. Or an accident on the line, Anya replies from the darkness. Andrei turns on the flashlight on his phone. The cold beam picks out dust motes from the gloom, the corner of the cabinet, his wife's pale face. Phone batteries, at 15% each. No internet, nowhere to escape. Nothing left to hide behind from each other. They find an old candle in the kitchen, a decorative one, gifted by someone ages ago and forgotten in a drawer. They light it. The flame trembles, stretching upward. Shadows begin to dance on the walls, making the painfully familiar apartment feel alien and a little frightening. They sit down at the kitchen table, across from each other, like on a romantic dinner. Only there's no romance here. There's confusion. Andrei looks at Anya through the faint candle flame. Without the harsh electric light, in the flickering half-darkness, she seems younger, softer. That same girl he drank cheap wine with on a park bench 7 years ago and dreamed of conquering the world. Andrei feels a strange, painful stab in his heart. He suddenly, desperately wants to talk. Not about utility bills, not about buying cat food, not about car repairs. The silence presses so hard that it physically needs to be shattered with something alive. Listen, he starts uncertainly. Do you remember when we got stuck in the elevator on our second date? Anya lifts her eyes, but looks somewhere past him. I remember. A faint, fleeting smile appears on her lips. You were trying to pry the doors open with your hands back then. Yeah, playing the hero, Andrei chuckles. They fall silent. The topic is exhausted in 10 seconds. Andrei realizes they have no common topics except memories from 7 years ago or tomorrow's shopping list. The chasm between them is right here, on this small kitchen, the width of just the kitchen table. Andrei looks at his wife's profile. She's hypnotizing the candle flame with her gaze, and her face expresses boredom. She's just waiting for the power to come back on, so she can turn the series back on and return to her safe cocoon. She's not with him. She's enduring this time, like enduring rain at a bus stop. And then it breaks through Andrei. It's not a shout. It's a quiet, trembling question, born somewhere in his solar plexus, where it hurts the most. Anya, Tell me honestly, are you happy? Anya freezes. She slowly shifts her gaze to him. In movies, this is when the drama starts. Tears, confessions, long monologues to sad music. But life isn't a movie. Life is dry prose. Anya looks at him for a long 3 seconds. There's no pain in her eyes. There's exhaustion. Endless, ancient exhaustion of a person carrying a heavy suitcase without a handle, who's long forgotten what's inside. Andrei, please, she sighs heavily. Let's not. No, I'm serious, he insists, leaning forward. We're just living like roommates. We don't even really talk. Does that suit you? Andrei, I'm tired. I want to sleep. I have to get up early tomorrow. Can we not have this breakdown over nothing right now? Hear that. Over nothing. To her, the death of their love is nothing. It's not a problem. It's a given. She doesn't want to fix anything. She doesn't want to break anything. She wants to be left alone. Andrei tries to catch her evasive gaze, to reach her. But we loved each other once. Where did it go, Anya? Why did we stop caring? Anya stands up. The chair scrapes. She picks up her phone to light her way to the bedroom. It didn't go anywhere. We just grew up. Stop looking for drama where there isn't any. Good night. She leaves. Andrei remains alone in the kitchen. The candle burns down, wax slowly dripping onto the tablecloth, hardening into ugly drops. Suddenly, the lights come back on. The chandelier flares up, blinding with its whiteness. The fridge hums, welcoming the return of electricity. The router beeps, restoring connection to the outside world. The TV in the room starts speaking again with strangers' voices. Life returns. Normalcy returns. But Andrei sits motionless. He squints at this bright, merciless bulb and realizes he has just received the answer. The most terrifying answer in the world. If she had shouted, cried, if she had accused him of every mortal sin, that would have been a chance. It would have meant that something still hurts inside her, and where it hurts, it's alive. But she said, let's not. She chose sleep. She chose peace. She refused to fight for them. In this minute, Andrei understands the meaning of the phrase, we didn't fight, we just faded. They didn't lose a war. They simply didn't show up to the battlefield. They dissolved into everyday life, like sugar in boiling water. Sweetly, conveniently, but the sugar itself is no longer visible. Andrei blows out the candle. A thin wisp of smoke rises to the ceiling. He goes to the bedroom. Anya is already lying with her back to the door, covered up to her chin with the blanket. She breathes evenly. She's asleep. She's fine. And Andrei lies down on the very edge of the bed and stares into the darkness with wide open eyes. For the first time in 7 years, he feels not comfort, but a panicky, sticky horror. Because he has understood where he is. He's lying in a coffin, a comfortable, double one, with an expensive orthopedic mattress. But in a coffin. Part 4. Awakening. Andrei didn't sleep that night. In the morning, he'll get up, drink his coffee, kiss the sleeping Anya on the cheek, and go to work. On the outside, nothing will change. But inside him, a timer has started. He realized he's living in cardboard scenery. We'll leave Andrei here, on the edge of his bed. From here on, it's only his choice. To smash these decorations to splinters, or stay in them until the end of his days, slowly turning into a shadow. And now, let's talk about you. Yes, about you. You didn't just listen to this story to the end for no reason. Do you know why Andrei's story is so frightening? Not because it's tragic, but because it's normal. We were taught to fear loud scandals, infidelity, betrayals. We were taught that bad is when people shout, slam doors, and smash dishes. But no one warned us that the most terrifying thing happens in complete silence. We think, we don't argue, everything's fine with us. That's a trap. The absence of arguments isn't always a sign of health. Sometimes it's a sign that there's nothing left worth fighting for. You don't argue because you don't care anymore. You've become too polite to each other, like random fellow passengers in a train compartment who still have a long way to go together, and arguing isn't worth it. But neither do you want to become friends. You're just following the rules of cohabitation. Remember the last time you looked at your partner not as a function, mother of the children, driver, source of income, or the one who takes out the trash, but as a person? A living, separate person. When were you genuinely interested in what they're thinking? Not, what do they want for dinner? But what do they dream about before sleep? What are they afraid of? When was the last time you laughed together so hard your stomachs hurt and you couldn't stop? If it's hard to remember, welcome to Andrei's club. Why do we fade? Because we confuse love with a mortgage. We build everyday life, erect walls, buy couches, have children, create a complex structure. And it seems to us that this structure is the family. But love isn't the walls. Love is the inhabitants inside. And if the inhabitants stop talking, stop looking at each other, the house turns into a tomb. Even if it has European quality renovation and the most modern appliances. We're lazy. Love is a verb. It's an action, but we want it to be a noun. An object you once bought, put on the shelf, and it stays there, gathering dust, but doesn't go anywhere. But love doesn't stand still. It's a living organism. It either grows or dies. There's no third option. There's no stability in feelings. There's either development or degradation. Andrei and Anya chose stability, and they got a slow death. Right now, you might feel panic. So what now? Divorce? Run? Break everything? No, not necessarily. As long as you're alive, everything can be changed. But to do that, you need to do what Andrei did, only say it out loud and follow through to the end. You need to violate this damn comfort. Tonight, don't buy flowers. That's an attempt to buy off, to patch the crack with a Band-Aid. Don't take your partner to a restaurant. There you'll hide behind the menu again and bury yourselves in your phones. Come home. Turn off the TV. Put away the phone. Sit across from each other. Look into their eyes. And ask that most terrifying question. Who are we to each other anymore? Do we still remember why we're together? I miss us. Do you? It will be scary. You might get the answer. Leave me alone, I'm tired, like Anya said. You might get icy silence, or they might cry. And that would be the best thing that could happen, because tears will wash away this gray dust of indifference. Tears are water, and water is needed where there's drought. Don't fear arguments, fear silence. In an argument, there's energy. There's a desire to reach the other person. In silence, only cold. Don't fear hearing, "I don't love you anymore." It's unbearably painful, but it's the truth. And that truth will free you for a new life instead of holding you hostage to illusions. Fear living another 30 years, thinking that's how it is for everyone, and one day waking up as an old man next to a stranger. Look at the person sleeping next to you, or at the empty pillow if you're still alone. Life is too short to be just normal. Life should be alive. If you feel your colors are fading, add fire, or have the courage to admit the painting is finished and start a new one. Just don't pretend nothing's happening, because the greatest crime against yourself is to live your life as a draft, in eternal waiting that someday later, after the mortgage, after the kids grow up, the real one will begin. The real one is now, right in this second. Turn off this video. Go and talk to the person next to you. Go talk.